Oh my God, yo. This is what I was looking for.
Actually?
Yeah.
Johnny's situation in Somalia has spiraled into a full-blown crisis, with chilling reports now claiming that South Korean gangsters are sending life-threatening warnings his way. As his legal troubles pile up and public outrage hits a boiling point, his future looks increasingly precarious. Could this be the breaking point for the polarizing streamer, or does he have a chance to emerge unscathed? Among the controversies that have marked his time in South Korea, one incident stands out for its sheer audacity: his disrespectful behavior toward a cherished cultural monument. This wasn't just any landmark, it was a deeply symbolic tribute to South Korea's resilience and a solemn reminder of its wartime hardships. Shockingly, Johnny was caught not only behaving disrespectfully near the statue, but taking it a step further by kissing it. A gesture that sparked widespread anger among locals and was universally condemned as deeply offensive. The backlash was swift, and for many, this act was the final straw. To many South Koreans, Johnny's behavior felt like a brazen insult to their cultural heritage and a disgraceful mockery of their storied history. But shockingly, his controversial behavior didn't stop there. At a local restaurant, Johnny turned heads, and not in a good way, by throwing noodles around, leaving a chaotic mess, and blasting loud, disruptive music. The atmosphere quickly descended into chaos, with staff struggling to restore order while diners watched in disbelief. Eyewitnesses further reported that Johnny made racially charged comments during the ordeal, stoking even more outrage. The legal fallout was swift and severe. Authorities charged him with a litany of offenses, including assault and violations related to illegal substances. Adding to his woes, South Korean officials slapped a travel ban on him, ensuring he remains within their jurisdiction to face trial. If found guilty, he could be sentenced to up to 10 years in prison before being deported, a measure that would bar him from ever re-entering South Korea. The message from the government is clear: there will be no leniency for his actions. While the current charges primarily stem from the restaurant debacle, Johnny's legal troubles reach far beyond that incident. Authorities are pursuing other investigations, including allegations of disrespecting culturally significant monuments and the unethical use of deepfake technology. The net is tightening, and it seems Johnny's controversial escapades are catching up to him in ways he never imagined. If these additional charges move forward, Johnny could face an even more staggering prison sentence, up to 29 years, potentially leaving him confined in South Korea for decades. True to the pattern of embattled public figures under fire, Johnny attempted a dramatic escape. In a now infamous video, he was seen standing outside the U.S. Embassy in South Korea, clutching a purple passport.
Trump should have freed Larry. What's wrong with dude? Oh, you say you GDK? What's wrong with you?
Unlike the standard blue passports most Americans carry, this was an emergency passport, issued in cases where the original has been lost or seized. Yet, despite its official appearance, such documents are far from a free pass. Emergency passports serve as temporary identification for U.S. citizens abroad, but hold no power to override legal restrictions such as travel bans. Johnny's public display of the passport outside the embassy seemed to suggest he believed he'd found a quick way out. But legal experts swiftly clarified that his confidence was wildly misplaced. Until his trial is resolved, Johnny remains legally bound to South Korea, and this stunt has only compounded his troubles. His apparent attempt to sidestep the law has drawn widespread criticism, further inflaming public outrage. To make matters worse, Johnny's controversial antics haven't just drawn the ire of everyday citizens. They've also placed him in the crosshairs of South Korea's criminal underworld. With public sentiment against him at an all-time high and threats reportedly coming from dangerous figures, Johnny's situation grows more perilous by the day. A particularly unsettling threat reportedly came from someone claiming to hold a high-ranking position within the Yakuza.
So, Johnny, if you want to keep f***ing around and talking shit, I'll just have some of my untouchable friends in really high places in Korea pay you a visit.
This individual chillingly declared that if Johnny had dared to pull such outrageous stunts in Japan, swift and uncompromising action would have been taken against him. He further hinted at possessing powerful connections in South Korea, implying that Johnny's safety could be in real danger if he continues provoking others with his behavior. The situation has only grown more ominous. Gangsters with ties spanning both South Korea and the United States have issued their own public threats against Johnny, heightening the tension. Among these was a particularly ominous warning from a Korean-American gangster who explicitly cautioned Johnny to watch his back, regardless of where he might go. With threats coming from multiple directions and the stakes escalating rapidly, Johnny's reckless actions have clearly stirred a dangerous storm that may be far beyond his control. The warning was explicit. If Johnny dared to enter gang-controlled areas, he could face dire consequences, potentially even risking his life. This chilling statement from US-based gangsters underscores how Johnny's actions have not only insulted South Korean culture, but have also deeply angered the Korean-American community, extending the fallout far beyond South Korea's borders. In the face of mounting outrage, Johnny attempted damage control by offering an apology. However, his effort backfired spectacularly. Framed as an attempt to mend his reputation, Johnny's public statement claimed he hadn't fully understood the cultural importance of the statue, painting his behavior as a misguided attempt to entertain his audience. But instead of quelling the backlash, the apology ignited even more criticism. Many viewed it as insincere, lacking the genuine remorse that could have softened public anger. What little goodwill he might have salvaged was obliterated shortly thereafter when he made a shocking and deeply offensive remark, declaring that all Asians should be exterminated. For many, this statement was the ultimate confirmation that his apology had been nothing more than a calculated ploy to deflect criticism. Instead of easing tensions, Johnny's words further inflamed public outrage, solidifying his reputation as a figure of contempt and deepening the divide between him and those he had wronged. The backlash has been swift and unforgiving, with social media erupting in a torrent of condemnations directed at Johnny and widespread skepticism surrounding his claimed remorse. Critics have been quick to highlight how his apology glossed over the full scope of his offenses, neglecting not only the disrespect he displayed at the restaurant and the cultural memorial, but also the broader insult to South Korean culture as a whole. As Johnny Somali's saga spirals further into chaos, his future looks increasingly grim, with mounting legal troubles, unrelenting public outrage, and ominous threats from organized crime. He finds himself in a perilous and unenviable position. For many, this appears to be the turning point where Johnny's reckless quest for notoriety finally collapses under the weight of its consequences. It's a stark reminder that even actions taken under the guise of entertainment can have very real and very serious repercussions. His downfall seems all but certain as legal challenges and dangerous threats close in from all sides. But one question lingers. Will Johnny confront these consequences head-on, or does this turbulent tale still have one last shocking twist in store?
Right now, I want to apologize to the Korean people. I was not aware of the significance of the statue. I was trying to get, it was just entertainment for my audience.